Hello and welcome to Amaro's Intuitive Studio on YouTube. This is your birthday session, so happy birthday, Aries. I had a beautiful friend help me design this. She picked out the decks and she gave me some insight about what it is to be an Aries. So what I want to start you off with is that this is a time of awakening, and you are the ones who jostle people around a little bit. Hey, you're here to wake things up, and you help people defrost their icy hearts, and you help that. You're that warmth that melts the icicle and gets the water flowing again. Things start moving and growing in your presence. And I'm an Aries Mercury and Venus. I don't know how deep you are into your own natal chart, but it is something really interesting to look at. So this entire thing is my gift to you to help you unlock and harness this powerful season ahead. This is however you need to see it, okay? So this could be the next year, the next chapter, the next month of your life. It's all depending on how it manifests for you personally. But this is the energy of the spring opening up, okay? And that's what you are. You are the flowers bursting through the cracks in the sidewalk, you know? That's what you are. You are bringing things to life. I'm going to trust that in this spring season, if you are looking to deepen your understanding of all of this energy in your own life, that you will come on over to amarosintuitivestudio.com and start your questionnaire to get your own personal, custom designed session started. My friend who helped me to put this together again, she gave me this quote for the Aries season. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. And that is my Angelou. All right, I'm going to set up your message and then we will talk a little bit about it. So, what do you know about being an Aries? What does it feel like to you to be an Aries? Do you connect with that fiery spirit of Mars, this physical energy, drive, and motivation? That's that fighting spirit. Your zodiac sign, do you feel connected with this dynamic, spontaneous energy? Are you a warrior, a pioneer? Or even parts of you? So are you passionate and energetic? Are you inspirational and intense and direct, informative, bold? Or even in some particular area of your life, are you like that? It doesn't have to be your overarching characteristics, because like I said, with the natal chart, there are different parts actually of you that balance all this stuff out, like your emotions with the moon. So it's really interesting to start to study and dig into. So the first thing that we have here is Saturn. And we're talking about like a soul contract journey almost. Something that if you believe that you have purpose in this world, that these are the sort of lessons that we agree to learn for soul growth. So these are the deep wounds, that we may have, that later on when we have perspective, we're able to actually heal. Things that we're able to see differently when we're adults versus when we're children, when we're in therapy versus before we're aware. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to Saturn. And then we are moving into Pisces, which is the energy we are just moving out of, which is this soft, deep psychic energy, as we're moving into the more fiery, action-oriented energy of Aries season. Over the past few moons, the full moon and the new moon, I learned so much about Pisces. I didn't know almost anything, to be quite honest with you. So I actually took on these projects to deepen my understanding and my wisdom of all of this. And then the third house it says your potential to learn something in your local neighborhood, but it's going to be kind of like close to home. It might not be long-term goals. It might be like more like a hobby, learning something through a hobby. Okay. So here we go. And now we have your first bit of advice from the Astro dice that matches up here. The maturity that brings spirituality to ultimately experience your ideas. Caution regarding trusting your psychic knowledge of short-term thinking and trips. Limits imposed resulting from the indecision of or about who or what is around you. So these decks were chosen by an Aries. Last month they were a little bit different, and these are going to change every month based on the guidance from someone who knows a little bit more about that sign of the zodiac than I do. And so this is what came up. Now here, this is where you may have lost your power or your magic, however that lands for you. And it says defend to the end the worthwhile. Okay. And we might go a little bit deeper into these, but we're going to keep going and get all the cards out before we read anymore. But more than anything, really, think about Aries is a warrior, a crusader, has a fighting spirit. So this is something that you do naturally. You are a warrior. You defend and fight battles on behalf of others to help lift up those who cannot do that for themselves. But at some point, it is very important to take note of what is a worthwhile battle. If we're fighting just for the sake of stimulation, or if we are fighting in ways that actually satisfy us. Okay, we want to make sure that we are fighting and putting that energy, we're directing it. Look at here. Make sure we're directing it. Okay, where we actually want it to go. And the closer you are to kind of uplifting the world with that energy, the more powerful it's going to manifest in your life, and the more long-standing it will be. So this is your path right now. It says the perfection of your life. Okay, you don't need to fixate on something that may have been lost here. Okay, you may still feel defensive, but you have great potential to move forward and even make new connections against the grain. Okay, so it's not always easy, especially if you're local and you're around people that you know and people you grew up with. It is not always easy to turn your life around and choose to follow your own path instead of the path of others. Okay, so it may have been something that was very challenging. Okay, that imposed limits that you felt you had to break out of. But as you go emotionally deeper, you realize that your own satisfaction is within, and no matter what anyone imposes upon you, ultimately you are a free being. You are here to experience and understand your own freedom. So where does that fit in your life? Okay, this like flew out and landed on my table. In the past, where you may have lost your power, lovers, I trust in my knowing, and make a commitment. So you may have been on a soul path to connect with someone who, for soul lesson reasons, you chose even subconsciously, to enter this relationship and give yourself to it fully. And it maybe is a relationship that did not ultimately honor you. Okay? It brings you maturity now in the long run, in the long term, but at that time, it may have felt like a cage. Wow. So really, really interesting here. The Lovers is like, let's say twin flame, soulmate. Okay, let's just say that's what we're talking about. We're talking about cosmic divine connection, the soul tribe, the people that you are meant to be with. Now the Two of Cups is basically that same thing, but in the like the manifest form, I guess. It's the soulmate card, like on Earth. So this is like cosmic influence, and this is like, let's say we meet in real life, we connect in real life, okay? In some way our souls meet on this plane of existence, like it's going to happen. Whether that's physically or not, that's not what I'm saying, but it's saying I am worthy of the deepest kind of love. So understanding this path here, we may have chosen partners to teach ourselves lessons, patterns that we go through again and again and again until our soul learns that lesson. And then when you do learn the lesson, you realize that the love, first of all, it starts from within your own heart space, honoring yourself. And second of all, this is a love that maybe you have not actually ever experienced before. You thought you were entering that here, maybe. It doesn't have to be romantic love, but it is a soulmate connection that you may have chosen for deeper reasons than you understood. But when you start to see the perfection of your life and you stop fighting, you're able to direct your energy and actually receive what you really want. Okay? Receive what you truly want here. Seven of Swords. This actually came out in the last one. The potential here. So you might feel a little bit defensive. I mean, ultimately the potential here with your ideas, again, this is locally. This seems very local. Your neighborhood. Okay, you're gonna learn something new. You might start out feeling really defensive, like people are criticizing or wanting to take something from you just because you're doing something different. But that's not really what it's about. But if you are feeling, in using your judgment, and if you feel you're being offered criticism that is not constructive or kind, you have every right to cut that off and alter who or what is around you. Okay? Maybe you need others in your space who want to move dynamically against the grain as well. It doesn't mean that you have to remove anyone from your life, but just don't take everything everyone says or thinks as an attack. Don't think that, just because they made a comment is that they're trying to take something from you or make you doubt yourself. A lot of people are just working from their own frame of reference, and they don't actually mean to do you harm, or else they actually are trying to help you, and they don't understand why your path is different, because they're just so used to their way of seeing things. And a lot of people are like this. We can't really get too mad at people once we grow up. And we can blame people, but we also, if we're real mad, if we really have grudges to hold, we should remove those people from our lives, and we shouldn't continue to play these games if it actually is harming us. So that's just something to note. It's your choice whether you stay here. Okay, your path is here. This is where you have earned the right to be. Let's say you've earned your place here. You know deeply, but this indecision, okay, because you feel judged somehow. I don't know why that is. These could be relationships that have to do with your home and family and in intimate partnerships, but it also could be to do with a career, a community relationship, a hobby. okay? Someone that you meet that teaches you something that you never expect. It doesn't have to be someone who ends up marrying you or anything. It just is someone, probably, or someone or something, probably someone local, that you maybe meet through a hobby or a friend, and you're gonna grow together, teach each other stuff, and because you're both willing to do that, you've both probably been here where you felt like you were fighting for love, and that's what that feels like. It doesn't feel nice. And it feels really great, actually, when we're able to honor ourselves enough to receive relationships that deserve that space and that honored gift of our presence. All right, back to where we may have lost our power. When we stand at the edge of the wishing well, we throw coins into the well with the hope that something will change in our life. Instead of wishing, have the courage to dive into your wishing well. Delve into your depths, and you will find the richness of your soul. As you are immersed in your splendor, all is transformed. And I'm telling you right now, right here, Pisces season, this is what we did. We're talking exactly here, okay? Delve into the depths, okay? Find the richness of your soul that is inside of you. This is inside of your heart space. Revisit the last, the Moonlit Magic series. I will link the two most recent, actually the two only meditations, because this series also started last month, that go along with it, and they are all about delving into that, okay? They're getting the things that are in your mind, bring them into the body, and transform yourself by being willing to dive in. And that's when you start to see the depth and what you're worth and what you value, and you start to react differently to people. You feel differently in the presence of things that maybe you used to pretend didn't bother you, and you start to notice, and you have to start to make choices about if you're going to force yourself into those positions or not. A sign. So this is your current path. Sit quietly and close your eyes. Okay, so you can do this now if you want. I'll give you just a second to settle in. If you want to do this with me now, you can do it later. If you want to take a screenshot even of that and read it later, you're more than welcome to do so. But we'll do this together right now. Sit quietly and close your eyes. Ask your higher self to show you a sign that represents your highest development for this life. Whatever comes will be the most perfect sign to breathe life into your highest will at this time. Your sign may be a color, a feeling, or inkling, a memory, a guide, or angel, something abstract, or a symbol. Imagine your sign is gently floating in front of you. Light, energy, and wisdom shine from your sign and saturate every part of you. All is transformed, giving you full access to your higher will and courage. Be inspired by this newly found part of you. Allow it to reveal your highest development, your highest path, what makes you happiest. Open your eyes and continue to flow through your day. Wow, that's amazing. Especially when we talked about the perfect, right? The perfect sign. The most perfect sign, the perfection of your life. If you're looking for the most perfect connections, the most perfect synchronicities, the perfect signs do show up. You have to want to see them. If you are skeptical and you believe, that's just meh, and it is, man, it is, that's fine. If you don't see the meaning in the things that I see, then you probably won't spend a whole lot of time here, quite honestly, because you'll think I'm ridiculous. So that's cool too. You have to do what makes you feel best, okay? And this right here, inspired, courage, that's you. Courage, that's you. Inspired, that's you. That's you here and now. So don't discount that, okay? Don't discount the perfection of your life. Let the perfect signs come, because you are worthy of that. The perfect sign. You're worthy of the deepest kinds of love. Your potential. Oh, there you go. Perfect. This actually came out in the other Aries reading as well. Right here, right now, you are perfect. Okay, again, this is your potential. Then how many times do we have to say the word perfect? You are love and oneness. The trick is to feel and know this. This is exactly what we just said. Feel and know it. And if you don't want to feel and know it, you're not gonna. It is time to step onto the path of self-discovery. Move into your center and heal all that you are aware of at this moment. Transforming these wounds into acceptance and peace. Then bring this love and acceptance to your outer world, no longer attached to the wounds that pushed your buttons, allowing you to be free of the pain. This is an ongoing unfolding of you. Each time you become aware of something that needs to heal, go back inside your center. It becomes easier every time, and you may get to a place where you view this process as a way to love and accept something new about yourself. The challenge, that's the challenge right there, right? The challenge for soul growth, for wisdom. Learning to enjoy the process, learning to love the process of life, and letting the process be what we're here to do. Letting the process be the process and the experience be what we're here for. Not to get to the end. There's no end goal. I mean, there is. There's beautiful goals. Okay? We can have beautiful goals, and that keeps our life fresh. Okay? And it gives us drive and purpose and meaning in the moment. But ultimately, goals outside of ourselves are just goals. The deepest kind of love comes from within, and then we can accept that. Okay, we can see it. Maybe we aren't as skeptical of it when we see it within ourselves. The perfection of life is synchronicity. Synchronicity is there all the time. Do you want to see it? Do you care to see it? Do you want to believe it? Is it too much for you to accept? It's up to you. I'm not trying to force any of this down your throat. I just want you to be able to harness what is available to you. I don't want you to be afraid of it. I don't want you to feel deep emotion here and think that that is a bad thing. It's unlocking the ability for you to receive. Pisces is like a receiving energy, soft and psychic, okay? That's a very, very receiving energy. Aries is a giving energy. You may not be used to this, or it may make you very uncomfortable to go into this. And I'm telling you that you are safe. You don't have to fight anymore. You do not have to prove yourself or fight to be loved. You are deserving and you are worthy, but it starts with you knowing that. You have to understand and recognize that. And then you also have to understand and recognize, what is it that connects you to other people? How does it feel to be around certain people? People who are critical, or people who understand you at the depths of your soul? How does it feel? How does it feel when someone is like has a constructive criticism and is trying to help you actually grow and listening to you? Okay? Versus someone who makes you feel like you have to fight all the time, makes you feel caged or like you have limits imposed upon you. It feels different. Okay? Every relationship is not the same. Being in a companionship is not the end game. The end game is enjoying the experience, getting to know another person, growing together. It's a deepening of emotional fulfillment. And if one partner, or if someone in a relationship, any type of relationship, refuses to grow along with the energy, it's going to feel increasingly uncomfortable, maybe stagnant. I can't say what sort of energy that is, but whatever it is, it makes you feel like limits are imposed upon you. Like, you have to defend yourself, or you're on edge at the very least. And that's not how you have to feel. All right, so the Prince of Wands came out, and this actually again came out in the last one. And this is kind of a juvenile Aries energy, if I can say that. Okay, a pot stir, someone who is impulsive, insensitive, a little self-centered, explosive emotions, pushy. Okay, misdirected aggression and triggers. So it's not that it's not real. This person is passionate. They may be a very good person, but there's a lot of misdirected feeling that is being channeled probably towards you, or else you were misdirecting your energy towards someone else in a past relationship. But it is something that took something from you. It took something from you to have that sort of energy. And that's why I talk again and again about directing your energy. Go here inward so you can channel it and understand real satisfaction and what that means to you. So that way, when you do feel the fire in your spirit, you know where to direct it, and you're confident in that. You have direction, okay? You know exactly what you're fighting for. And that's important to know with a spirit like this. And you know that. You know as an Aries, and I know as an Aries, Mercury and Venus, that I am a pot stirrer. And maybe not so much anymore, but when I was younger and was unaware, man, all those things I said, misdirected energy, self-centered, explosive, that was all me, all of it. So it's all about awareness. I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting it, except for to say, that's not just who you are. You may have tendencies, but we are all capable of being responsible, self-aware, and becoming aware of our patterns so that we don't have to be plagued by them forever. We are capable. Sometimes we need help. Okay, sometimes we're capable of doing it on our own, but it all just depends. All right, so now we have the sacred clown. This is the Fool. And the Fool, again, is kind of a juvenile energy. It's a not a bad energy at all. It's basically a clean slate, a fresh start, but you may be predisposed to a little bit of naivety, okay? You may be a little bit naive, willing to fall in with things that aren't quite right for you, and you have to be willing to notice and take the challenge and grow, okay? You have to become able to see the subtle signs, the red flags of people who aren't quite right for you. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a beautiful new beginning. But again, it's a little bit naive and susceptible to kind of going back to this, to be kind of being sucked back into it, rather than in this impulsive way, rather than holding your ground and moving forward and waiting for this deeper kind of love to really come in and fill in the space that you've been holding open for it. This is what you want. You thought this was that. It didn't turn out that way. And so don't keep looking back at it, because it's not what you wanted. It's not what you signed up for. You are learning that you are worthy of something so much deeper. So with this beautiful, fresh, new beginning, give yourself a chance, okay? Hold the space open for what is supposed to fill in, and let the signs show you. Let the signs show you exactly the way. Okay, listen, pay attention to synchronicities, pay attention to your own energy. And then the Seven of Pentacles, look at, we got a lot going on with sevens. The Seven of Pentacles is basically like planting. To me, I actually love this card a lot because to me, if you look up really close, do you see how this person they're working with this arid soil. There's nothing really there. You see behind, there's this beautiful, it's a beanstalk. It's really a beanstalk to the castle in the sky. But where this person is, they don't have much. And they're tending to the small things. Oops. They're tending to this one small thing that they have and taking care of it. Okay? And that's where your potential is. Focus on what's important. Don't look and compare. Don't compare to what other people say it should be right for you. Don't compare what other people are doing and how far they've gotten and how far ahead of you they are. Plant your seeds and tend them. Tend your seeds. Okay? And watch what blossoms. Don't discount yourself. Right, so the next deck we have is the Freedom Mini cards. This is the final deck that we have chosen. This is actually the exact same card that came out in the last reading for this exact same spot. Your creativity will only be useful when your mind is neutral and dutiful. Meditate every day. In this exact spot, the same card came out. So there you go. This is the creative space, right? You're in the heart center. You have that fire and the energy coming out, but it's a very important, again, to use the more mature type of energy, that passionate, dynamic, in that direct, pioneering energy, but with self-awareness and awareness of others. Because if we are not aware of the others in our space, then what happens to our relationships? If we are self-centered, we will attract and be drawn in by those who are similar. Okay? Either we are self-centered or we are unable to see beyond the self-centeredness of others. What does that do to our relationships? The depth. And we really need to pay attention again to the signs. The signs are very important. Again, like I said, this is kind of, there's a susceptible energy because, again, it's like a little bit young, it's juvenile, it's vulnerable. And it's learning to be aware, gaining wisdom, okay? You are responsible for your own wisdom. Dwell in your mind day and night. Shape it with purity, love, and gratitude. So you shape your mind, okay? Your mind it's not this reactive spirit where you have to react to everything that wants you to. Okay, just because someone hands you something does not mean that you have to take it. When it came to understanding my own boundaries, that and like again, these signs, understanding that the red flags with certain relationships or types of, I want to say types of people, I think it's just such a very individual thing. But if you're getting sucked into the same patterns with the same kind of people again and again and again, who is the constant here? Okay, that is not an excuse for any mistreatment, any type of abuse, or of any type, of any level, emotional, mental, anything, whether it's seen or unseen. That is no excuse, but you do have to evaluate your willingness to stay in those places. And if you're not aware of it, then you're probably not going to be, here, ready to plant something, ready for this relationship. You're still going to be here most likely, okay? You're still going to kind of be stuck in this pattern where you're fighting limits, you're trying to break free, you're committed to this, but you don't know what to do. Your mind is not neutral, okay? You're not serving yourself because you're not able to focus that fiery spirit that you have, which is your gift. The most wonderful gift you can give is being you, your beautiful, true self. And that's exactly, your gift is knowing who you are and knowing what you deserve. So you can bring your best self into the world and give that to those who deserve it, those who nourish you, who love you, who support you and treat you well and honor you for exactly who you are, but also aren't afraid to tell you the truth. Okay, so our very final message, this red part down here, is going to be our karma cards advice. Be realistic about your dreams by making the right connections. Be concerned about your idealization, the idea in question. You must wait before you can be a part of something overwhelming and get your ideas going. You must wait. And what do you need to wait for? Okay? This neutral mind. You need to calm your mind, okay? Bring your mind to a place of peace. Meditate so you can take your fire and you can channel it like a lightning bolt, okay? Because that is who you are. You are meant to awaken us and to shake us back to life, okay? There are angels whose only job is to make sure that you don't get too comfortable and fall asleep and miss your life. If you have not seen it yet, please check out the Aries season video for everyone. Please share this with all of your Aries friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thank you so much for being here. Please give this a thumbs up so that way YouTube knows you like it. If you can channel this energy from these self-imposed limits in these commitments that you've made and really start to trust that who you are really attracts the perfect types of love, okay? You have the most powerful season ahead of you. Such a loving season full of beautiful new deep relationship and ideas, connections. Enjoy this chapter of your life. I am rooting for you. Happy birthday.